Whether they're workers, business owners, or consumers, Americans are waking up to the fact that corporate concentration is the economic issue of our time.
Despite rising inflation, major U.S. corporations are reporting record profits.
It's almost impossible for a small business to compete.
Private equity firms have been buying up physician practices across the country. Patient costs went up 26%.
Pharmacy workers are fed up.
Hundreds of thousands of Arizonans paid much higher rent than they should have.
I wanted to have you on a podcast. Apple asked us not to do it.
I think it just shows one of the dangers of what happens when you concentrate so much power in a small number of companies.
We allowed the airline industry to merge into basically a monopoly centered on Boeing. How's that going?
You've sued Amazon.
That's right.
One thing we did hear from the Biden administration is a lot of conversation about breaking up monopolies.
The cops are back in the beat enforcing antitrust law.
Google is in court as the U.S. takes on the company's search dominance in the biggest antitrust trial in 2 decades.
Apple is the last major tech giant to be sued by the government.
The Federal Trade Commission sued to block Kroger's historic acquisition of Albertsons.
Does Kroger have a shot here of winning in court?
No, I don't think so.
We're looking to take on these junk fees across banking.
We're cracking down on big landlords who break antitrust laws by price fixing and driving up rents.
I really hope that your litigation against Kochava is something that creates precedent.
I look at Lina Khan as one of the few people in the Biden administration that I actually think is doing a pretty good job.
Anytime you see something bad for workers go for capital, the president will be against it.
They're truly going after monopolies in every single sector of the economy. If you're a corporation trying to rip off the American people, nowhere is safe. And the results are starting to speak for themselves.
Big day for millions of Americans with hearing loss. For the first time, hearing aids are available over the counter.
Inhalers. 3 out of the 4 major manufacturers have now said they're going to cap how much Americans pay.
Ultimately, this victory is about the American consumer and the ways that they benefit from vibrant and open markets.
Overdraft fees, credit card late fees, and so much more. We expect our proposal will save people $9 billion per year.
The days of 6% fees for selling or buying a house are over, and that is going to make housing cheaper.
Suing Microsoft ended up being the best thing for the tech industry. The idea is in favor of more innovation.
The FTC has a new cars rule requiring dealers to provide a vehicle's actual price and cost.
Under new regulations that were just announced, airlines will be required to issue cash refunds automatically.
We have assessed the toughest penalties ever recorded in order to make sure that airlines treat passengers better.
The Federal Trade Commission wants to make it easier for you to get a new job. It plans on banning non-compete clauses.
This is the first time in 50 years that they've tried to do an economy-wide ban of a non-compete clause.
So they are going back to basics. A more realistic, less dogmatic, less theoretical, and more practical approach to making sure consumers, workers, and the overall American economy benefits from competition.
You can still be in business and make a lot of money. It's just going to require that you innovate, that you're creating value, not that you're just a middleman and taking away money from hardworking Americans. That's not going to go anymore.
Our enforcement is efficient, effective, and saves taxpayers billions of dollars a year. For every dollar Congress invests in antitrust enforcement, we deliver returns to the American public that would be the envy of Wall Street.
This is the end of the vertical acquisition blessing.